minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I bet you by the end of it, I bet you there'll be about a $30 to $50 million fund.
Wow, that's incredible.
I think they're saying a lot of teams, NHL owners are going to be. They're going to be having board meetings about it. So it's crazy, super sad stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Would that fund, is that for the families or that for the program?
The general manager of Humboldt was on the other day, and he said it's the majority of the funding is going to be for the families.
Yeah.
But they with that sort of fund, the amount there needs to be some serious kind of board members and a lot of logistics of how the funds are going to get dispersed.
Yeah, there's going to be management of it. It's not like 10 grand.
No. They say another two people might. There's two more in critical that.
Well, I know the trainer, they were talking about her this morning, that she passed away.
Yeah, sad stuff.
And how about the one Poulan and there's two kids and they mistaken, so they told the parents that the one kid never made it, and and they were in the hospital and they're like, we don't think this is our kid.
Yeah,
it was nuts.
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah.
On to positive stuff.
Well, that is unfortunate, and sometimes that's life. Life throws us curveballs, and we need to roll with the punches.
That's right. 100%.
Well, guys, good to see everybody. Let's rock some victories. Who wants to share a victory first? Who's going to be the first one to share a victory this week?
I will tell you good news. I got my taxes done and I'm getting back twice as much as I was expecting.
Hey, that's positive.
That's huge. It'll help me out a lot right now.
Hey, that's great. Awesome news, Chris.
Oh, and I got leads.
And you got leads? Okay, that's fantastic.
Yay.
That's like an afterthought for you.
It was today. I literally just got back from the accountant's office, so that's the only reason why.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, are you Manny chatting?
No.
Okay.
Because I had 2 leads, so I didn't see the point just yet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's way to go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that opt-ins or comments?
Webinar opt-ins.
Awesome. Way to go, Chris. Was that from applying what Landon and Stapes were talking about on Tuesday?
It wasn't. I did watch that, but it was the photo that I took while I was watching the new masterclass and making lunch. I made a post in the GAZ group about it, and I was like, hey, I should run it as an ad and see what happens, and I got a couple leads off it. So.
Atta girl.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, and I've also seen I've seen more of your stuff been popping up. So
awesome. Good.
I was really, really proud when I seen that. That was like she's putting her content out there. So way to go, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anybody that had missed Tuesday's webinar, some really good training on there in terms of creating congruency with your webinar. It doesn't, obviously we use the masterclass, but if you happen to use a different, let's say your own webinar down the road, how to create that congruency. Phenomenal tips by those guys. So yeah, check that out.
Sorry, I just wanted to share something. I came across, I know we're not supposed to watch the news anymore, but I live with other people, so we do end up watching it. And I came across a thing on Global National the other day that I have recorded on my phone now, that was talking about how advertisers target you. And so it shows you how to go into your own profile and see what things are causing certain ads to show up on your own profile. And what that made me think of is trying to find your own avatar. And so it's things that you can target in your ads based on what's in your own profile. Does that make sense? So I can share that to other people if they're interested.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be awesome.
Post in the chat and we'll see what, yeah, we'll take a look. Awesome. Who else has a victory to share?
I'll share a cool experience that happened with me a couple days ago. And so it's kind of a victory for me too, in a way, because I've kind of gone through some moments of feeling like not really aligned and not really, just kind of going back and forth through emotions and like really trying to figure out like my targeting and that kind of stuff. Anyways, so, and really trying to work on my manifesting. Like manifesting is, I've been watching a lot of podcasts on it, and it's something that I really want to get better at. So I'm listening to, I don't know how many people know who, some have already heard the story, but I'm going to share it again for those who haven't. But am I cutting out?
No, you're good, Nick.
Okay. So I was in my vehicle and I was listening to some podcasts of Gabrielle Bernstein. And so it was on YouTube. So you know how it just flows to the next video once the other video ends. And a video came on, and it was what 1111 actually means, what the purpose behind it is when you see it. And I'm about 30 seconds in, and I get this urge to look at my clock. And it's, so the purpose of the video is to share what it like when you see consecutive ones in the, whether it be 111 or 1111 or on a license plate or on a clock or just randomly anywhere, the meaning behind it. So I had this urge to look at my clock, and it was 111, and I was like, holy shit. And so I'm just like watching this video, and it happens and I see it. And then I actually hear the actual explanation, which is, and how she describes it is, it's like a whisper from an angel, and you're supposed to recognize your thoughts in that moment. And if your thoughts are positive and they're good and they're in alignment with what you want to create, the universe has opened a door for you and to really start creating. It's like a sign that the universe has your back, so to speak. That's actually one of her books, is The Universe Has Your Back. And if your thoughts are negative, then you really need to get them in check, and you need to figure out like why you're having those negative thoughts and switch those negative thoughts into something more positive, so you are more aligned with your vision, your goals, and what you want to create. So it was super cool. I came home and I was just like feeling all tingly and everything. And I went into the garage and shared it with Colin and Corey. And it was just a really cool experience, because I was kind of looking for a sign, looking for something to like let me know I was doing what I needed to do to continue on this vision that I had. So it was a huge win for me. It's something completely different that I'd never experienced before.
Good for you. I love that, a whisper from an angel.
I don't know if I'm gone.
Okay, anybody else have whispers from angels? I think maybe Nikki was talking about Colin.
Did I cut out?
You just came back.
Okay, so how did I cut out? Did I not get my explanation in?
Oh, no, we heard you.
I think my internet's really bad.
That's okay. We've grown accustomed to that already.
Okay. You guys are all freezing on me, so I'll pass it on the next person. Colin's stealing my Wi-Fi.
Yeah. We'll stop trying to joke with you guys since there's a lag and it makes things awkward. Who else has a victory share? I see Dan and Margot. They have a couple leads, and they got to meet some super awesome people on Saturday, which is awesome. Great meeting you guys, Dan and Margot. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Vegas next week. Who else has a victory to share?
I'll go quickly. I just want to thank, I got two little angels to thank here, Chris and Angela. I got my Vegas tickets a little late, so I didn't have a place to stay. So I want to thank you guys for reaching out and offering me a place to go. So I love you and appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you there, bro. All right, who else has a victory?
I have a victory. Our team as a whole, we've done 16 sales in the last 7 days. So we were, it's our team is wrong. Doing some challenges. Am I lagging? Can you guys hear me?
You're lagging a little bit.
Okay. Since we got back from Cabo, like we just learned a lot of tools and tips to help our team and really engage our team. So we've been doing a lot of video challenges and just a lot of training within our team, and 16 sales in 7 days. So we're thrilled.
Awesome. Can you nail that down into one or two strategies that have been impactful?
Yeah, for sure. I think when everybody, like, we've been training more on reflecting. So instead of talking about a sale, you're just reflecting of what that person's need. They're the ones that have commented for more information. So it's not you that, it's them that's ultimately reached out to you to ask for more information. So when you reflect, you just get into some questions and start asking, like, what's going on in your life, and let the person talk. Let them, we've been instructed, like, even when you're on a call, instead of interrupting, just let them talk, and then just reflect that you possibly have a solution for them. And it's really helped our team.
Awesome. That's a great share, call. That really comes down to leadership 101 and sales 101, really, is not thinking I mean, yes, it is sales, but when they call it consultative selling, where you're not there to try to ram something down somebody's throat, a product or service. It's basically asking them, hey, what is it that you're looking for, and how may I help? As the agent, as a representative, as the leader, it's asking more questions and doing less talking.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And are you guys doing that through ManyChat? Because I know you were using ManyChat.
I use ManyChats, but a lot of it is just from Scott Barrett. He's it's not ManyChats with Scott. Steph is just pounding through. I'm not exact. I think Steph is just all ads. I don't know if it's ManyChat. Some of mine have been ManyChat just to engage the conversation, but a lot of it is just back and forth conversation. A lot of voice notes. So I forgot to mention that. I wasn't on the call last week. I've been doing a lot of voice notes for my first message back, and it's been pretty interesting. Like you actually get thank yous back from people saying, like, "Wow, like, thanks for taking the time to do a voice note." And so that voice notes have really helped me. Really opened our game up a bit. So, but for some of, like, Nikki, she's been bringing in sales as well. I think she's more messenger chat. And but for me, it's been full out. I don't usually type the message. It's completely a voice note back and forth. Half the time that the other person will start to engage in a voice note, but the other half, it's them just texting back, and I'll just do a full voice note. But for me, it's really helped on time management as well, because we're getting quite a few comments, and the typing was kind of like getting repetitive. And just, I kind of enjoy the voice note because you can express the business, you can ask the right questions, you can kind of get into the tonality of all the stuff that I've been training, like, working on the last year, and you can apply that back in a voice note. So it really, really helped me. I kind of got a new spark.
It's glad to hear it, man.
What's that?
So that's awesome to hear, Call.
Thanks, brother.
Are you guys doing phone calls or are you using the webinar, Colin?
It's a mix. For the most part, I am driving traffic to webinars. Can you turn that down, Nick? No worries. For the most part, I am driving traffic to a webinar, and I get the person to call, get them to reach back to me after they've watched a webinar.
After after you've started a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's good. Like I'm really pumped.
I think that's a good mix, guys. I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it, is there's no one way to try to convert traffic. Obviously, we've got a highly converting webinar, but you're going to increase your chances of making a sale and getting that person to convert if you're establishing a relationship with somebody, right? Because they're not buying an info product; they're buying an opportunity, right? They're buying training, they're buying mentorship, right? If they're just downloading a PDF and they wanted a course, it might be different. You wouldn't have to make that make that connection. However, they are buying a program, but it's not like a deliverable 6-week course or anything like that. It is ongoing training, and that's why we sell it the way that we do.
I love what you said there, Kev. I love what you said, because I don't think we would have that high of a conversion rate if we weren't building the relationship before. Like if someone commented for more information and I just jammed a webinar down there, down their throat, I don't think we'd be converting. Like I'm just going back to what you're saying. I'm going into a reflection mode and like totally getting into what their needs are and what their wants are, and they open up, right? Once you once you have 3 or 4 conversations with them, they know you're not flake. Or sometimes I'll even invite them to my personal page, just letting them into your life as well.
Awesome. Great tip there, Cobbs. Awesome. Who else has a victory to share? One more. We'll take one more.
I have another big one.
I don't know if we want to hear yours, Angela. I'm just joking. Of course we want to hear yours, Angela. Go ahead.
I'm at $92,000 in the first 12 days of the month. 14 trifectas and 3 quads.
14 trifectas and 3 quadzillas in the first 12 days of the month, 11 days of the month.
Way to go, Ange.
Jeez. That's amazing.
I'm fucking shocked.
That's awesome. And these are all, so let me clarify for everybody. So let's dive into this, Angela, because everybody's gonna say, hey, how do I make $90,000 in 12 days? Right? So, Ange, are these leads from, like, are people saying, okay, I'm in like right now? Have they been opt-ins or leads from the last 12 days, or has there been a nurturing period for your leads?
There's been a nurturing period.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like shaking right now. I just added up the numbers for the day.
Look,
you should be shaking, Ange. That is amazing.
I'm gonna hit 150 grand this month.
Okay. Hey, that's great. That's great. Embrace it. Embrace it.
I'm fucking scared. I'm like feeling scared right now. I'm like, oh my God.
So
anyway.
So this is more of a coaching call for Angela, but we'll go into it real quick, because it is important, guys, is the way, like, Angela and I, after she had her big month, we got on a call and we felt it was really important for her to understand the feeling, the emotion that comes with money and that level of success. Right? Because a lot of people will feel the way that she does now. While it's giddy, it's like, shit, I'm scared. I don't know what to do with that level of money. Right? And when you get accustomed to it, and you will get accustomed to it, Angela, and everybody else here will get accustomed to it, it's that it's important for you to celebrate, but do not let yourself get nervous or scared. Right? It's one thing. Sorry, it's not about not letting yourself. It's acknowledging the fear and then saying, take a deep breath, let go, and then say, hey, you know what? This is my new normal. So what do you do with it? And it takes a lot of self-discipline, I'm telling you. And I told Angela this, it takes a lot of self-discipline when you come into money like that. to understand the emotion behind it, let it sink in, and then let it pass. Because when it comes to money, money is like any other business decision, right? If you got millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in your control, most people that come from an employee mindset, employee experience, their first what's the word? What's the word? Their first
Reaction?
their first I can't
Reaction?
think of the word. Reaction. Sure. Your first reaction is to get rid of it. Right? You're like, oh my God, I don't trust myself with this money. I'm kind of scared. How do I get rid of it? And people, you will hear all the time about lottery winners, people that get big inheritances. What do? They spend it on shit that doesn't matter. It makes them feel good temporarily because they can spend it. And then in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, they spent it all because they haven't accustomed themselves to that level of income, that level of money, right? Obviously, this is different. It's not an inheritance, not a lottery. Angela, this is cash flow for her. So even more importantly is that the intent is that this money is going to come every month as long as she stays true to the fundamentals that got her that money. Fundamentals and then more advanced tactics. But those fundamentals are that she's going to continue to drive that money, understand how you feel when you feel that money, when you start seeing that money. Angela's just starting to see some of these checks roll in now. So my advice to her, I'll share with everybody else. My advice was to not do anything with it for minimum 60 days. Why? Because our initial impression is, okay, geez, what can I buy now? Who can I treat? How can I get rid of? And because we are in the public eye, Angela is in the public eye, people are going to come out of the woodwork. So this is a forewarning for everybody as you become successful in your internet business, as people start making posts about the money that you make. I know Colin and Nikki have experienced this already before as well, is that people come out of the woodwork wanting a hand out, not a hand up. Right? There's a difference. Leaders are there to give a hand up, not a hand out. So put yourself in those shoes, flip the roles and say, hey, if you feel like somebody is being successful, earning a lot of money, hey, celebrate them. Be aware of your emotions as you hear about money, as you see money, as you feel money, so that you can now be accustomed to it. And then in short time, Andrew will be like, hey, 100 grand a month, why aren't I making 200 grand a month? It is all psychology, but it's also emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is what makes or breaks leaders, and it's the difference between being a producer, so somebody that can sell, and then somebody that can be a leader and bring other people up. Is that emotional intelligence? So, Angela, that's phenomenal. It's amazing. But why haven't you done more?
I'll do more.
Why haven't you done more? Exactly. So,
Like Kevin and I talked about this like last month. My sister said, oh yeah, me and my boyfriend want to go to Mexico. And they essentially were like wanting me to pay for it. And I was like, I wouldn't give you the sweat off my ass, let alone a fucking trip to Mexico. Like, tell your boyfriend to go get a goddamn job. Why is it now my responsibility? So I've already seen this, and I'm like, even Kevin and I talk, because I am in need of a newer vehicle, and I have people like, oh, why aren't you getting a 2019? I'm like, I don't need a 2019. Like, so I am really excited about all this. I really am, but I'm like, I just honestly felt terrified when I just added up the numbers today for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, holy shit, like, what do you do with this amount of money? So anyway, that's my win.
Angela, that's phenomenal. And again, we'll have more conversations about it. So we're not going to make this a big training for today, but everybody here I know is super excited for you. And outside of that psychology, outside of the psychology about money, because understand that if you're fearful of earning money in the beginning, you will not earn money. Right? If you already have a poor relationship with money, money's not going to come your way. And if by chance it does, you will lose it, you will get rid of it, you will spend it, and you will find a way to sabotage your own financial well-being if you don't have a good relationship with money. So ask yourselves, what is my relationship with money? How do I feel when I see other people earn a lot of money? How do I feel when I know somebody earns a lot of money and they have a big house and a nice car? How do I feel when somebody has new success, early success, somebody like Angela? How do I feel when I think about them? How do I feel when I think about what she went through to earn that money? Do you say, oh, I would never work that hard? I would, are you finding a way to minimize the result? Are you finding a way to tell yourself that, oh, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't, put myself in that position, or I wouldn't feel good about making that kind of money because it's excessive. Those are thoughts that people have. This is actually a very good lesson and reflection for everybody, is how do you feel around different scenarios that involve money? Are you constantly trying to give it away when you don't have it yourself? Are you trying to hoard it? I'm not saying one is good or bad or right or wrong, but being aware is going to help you level up your financial thermostat, so that, again, I didn't say it in these words, but essentially we live in an industry. We are all in an industry where there are people that make a lot of money and they have nothing to show for it. I'm telling you right now, in 10 years of network marketing, seeing people make several hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to millions of dollars a year, there are a lot of people, especially the new rich, right? The new rich that have nothing to show for it, and they don't learn because they're constantly trying to uphold some sort of image, or they've got a sense of lack, or they've got a really poor relationship with money, or just emotionally immature to deal with that level of money, right? The new rich is really, it can be a double-edged sword. But that's why Angela is being very, very humble and very coachable with it. So, Angela, phenomenal results. Love to see what's going to happen April 30th. By that time, 70 cents, or it could be $60, it could be $100, $200. She says, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm a money magnet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be grateful for every cent that you have.
Really helps like people connect with me. And then I think because they saw my results from last month with the honeypot posts, now they're ready to start.
That people out there experience. I've never